lobby who is there. That's
Okay.
So, hello, hi, namaskar, and very good evening to all those who are connected here with me. I am Prashil Badwaik. I am a chemical engineering graduate from VNIT Nagpur and currently working with industry as an executive. And right now, I'm teaching students of chemical engineering for the preparation of GATE. I'm also uploading these videos on YouTube for the students who are unable to attend the live classes and for those who want to revise. Okay, so I'll quickly recap what we studied in yesterday's class and then I'll start the session of the day. So in yesterday's class, we started with what? Non-idealities in your reactors, right? And we model that non-ideality in terms of mathematics. And uske baad we drawn RTD of that reactor, right? So we have covered some points such as your dead space, your bypassing, right? Dead space में क्या होता था? Your because of your dead volume, your actual volume was decreasing, and then because of that, your residence time was decreasing, right? In case of bypassing, the case was opposite. And then we started with your CSTR with long pipe at exit and long pipe at inlet of your reactor, and that case also we saw your RTD, right? Then recirculation case and similar case were then in case of PFR, right? So based on that, we solved some gate questions, and now we'll start today with a new topic, that is your, in order to measure non-LT in your CSTR or in your PFR, I told you we are using what? RTD, right? RTD, that is residence time distribution. And I told you this is an important method to find out non-idealities, right? And based on this method, now you can predict what is your reactor arrangement based on RTD. So suppose RTD is given, you can find out or you can guess what is your arrangement, right? Arrangement of reactor. So I am writing here arrangement. And if you know arrangement of reactor, you can find out or you can guess what will be its RTD, right? These two conditions you know. But at the same time, I told you this RTD has some disadvantages, and I wrote that in previous class. So now we are at the stage there is a need of RTD, right? There is a need of RTD, but along with RTD there must be something else so that you can actually predict what kind of non-LTD is there in your reactor. Okay, so you just write there are different models, they are classified as, so you write models for non-ideality, right? And there are basically three models. One is your zero parameter model, second is your single parameter model, and your last one is your multi-parameter model. Okay, so in zero parameter model, you will be just theoretically discussing what happens in your reactor. So this is, there is no parameter you are getting at the exit, right? You just theoretically telling this we will study actually, but right now you just note down that we are just studying theoretically and we are not getting any parameter to measure your non-ideality. So instead of zero parameter, here it is no parameter, you can say no parameter. In case of single parameter model, you are having two models. First you write your Tankin series model, Tankin series model, and second is your axial dispersion model. This can also be written as dispersion model. And your multi-parameter model. In case of multi-parameter model, with RTD, you will be having many parameters to guess what kind of non-ideality is there in your system. So that may be your recycle ratio, that may be your dead space, anything, but multi parameters will be there. Okay, so for the timing, you just remember this is your classification. Then we'll start with our first model, that is your Tankin series model. You just write Tankin series model. So at the starting, what this model is telling you, suppose you have arrangement. This is your PFR or PFR followed by your MFR or any combination. You can write any arrangement. This arrangement can be written. This arrangement can be written or can be represented in a single parameter, right? Single parameter, and in this single parameter, that is your number of tanks, that is n, right? So suppose this is arrangement you are having. In order to represent non-LT in this arrangement, you will tell it has 7 tanks or it has 8 tanks. So using this number of tanks, you are telling that, or you are representing your non-ideality. For this arrangement, you may get n is equals to 3, n is equals to 8, any value, right? So we are representing this in terms of a single number, and that number is your number of tanks, and that's why it is written Tankin series model, right? Because you are getting number of tanks. Suppose it is one, if n is equals to 3, then you are having 3 tanks in series, right? So this is basically your Tankin series model. And why it is a single parameter model? I already told you, because anyone? Single parameter model. Kaushik? Because yes,
Because only number of tanks are
right. With RDD, you will be having single parameter, that is your n, that is your number of tanks, and that's why it is your single parameter model. Okay, so this model has a long derivation, but I'll tell you in short only. Maybe you can do that as an homework. I'll tell you steps. Okay, so don't need to remember actual what is actually your derivation is, but please be aware of steps and do that accordingly. So in Tankin series model, I told you any arrangement can be represented in terms of number of tanks. That is a basic assumption of this model. So you can write here number of tanks. First tank, second tank, third, and this is nth number tank. Nth. And I'm considering here volume of all tank is equal. So you can say n number of equal tanks connected in series, right? Second assumption. And this n is tending to your infinite, right? Now, based on this, can you please tell me what will be your relation between tau 1, tau 2, tau 3, tau n, if they are having same volume?
will be equal.
Will be equal, right? You are having volumetric flow rate nu naught at initial, and outlet is also nu naught. Everywhere nu naught is going. So you will be having tau 1 is equal to tau 2 is equals to tau 3 and tau n, because your tau is basically V divided by volumetric flow rate. Your volume is same, so your tau will be same. right? Then suppose in this arrangement, if you consider only one reactor, so what is that? You will be having nu naught input, nu naught. This is Ca, that is your concentration, but instead of Ca I'll write C naught because it is tracer, and you will be having C1, right, at the exit of your first reactor. Now if you balance over it, for the first order reaction, or suppose if we directly balance it, tracer, you know, tracer balance over CSTR, right? What was that? For your pulse tracer injection, tracer balance over CSTR for pulse injection, input minus output, reaction is 0, generation consumption 0, and your rate of change of concentration of tracer, that is d by dt of V into C, V into C1T, right? Now what is your input for pulse injection?
C not new.
C naught into nu for pulse injection.
Pulse. Okay.
For pulse it is 0, right? You are just putting at an instant, right? So input is 0, then what is your output? That is continuously coming, that is nu naught into C1,
C1T.
right? And it is d by dt of C1D, and you can take out volume of MFR as constant. And using this, we already derived what was your final equation for tracer concentration?
CT
C1,
equal to C naught into e power minus
yes.
t by tau.
So Ct is equal to C naught e to the power t by tau 1 here, and this C is basically your C1T in your arrangement, right? Here we are considering C1T, so it is C1T. So if you balance our second reactor, reactor 2, right? So you will get
Sir, I did not understand why input is 0.
here,
Here input or balance.
okay. Anyone would you like to explain?
So
So
because
like we are adding at a time all the input, like it's not continuously adding. We add it instant, but
At
output
instant.
it will come according to time.
Yeah, okay. So in case of pulse injection, this is your inlet profile, right? At time t is up to time t is equal to 0, you are having no input, right? You are having no input, and at sudden time t is equal to 0, you are adding some concentration, right? So you'll be having this. So is it continuous one or is it at an instant?
okay, sir, understood. Instant.
It is at an instant. So you will not get, so your inlet will be 0, right? Your inlet will be 0. There is no continuous inlet. No continuous. You can watch previous class videos, right? There I have
Yes, sir,
explained.
understood. I'm
Okay.
thinking of step tracer, sir. Sorry.
This stream, right? Maybe you are thinking of this stream that is continuous. But in that stream, you are putting your tracer at an instant, right? So this is tracer balance.
Yes, sir.
Then if you balance our second reactor, you will be having C1T is entering into nu naught minus your C2T into nu naught is coming out. Your reaction consumption is 0, and d by dt of volume of second reactor, that is your V2 is equals to V, right? All reactors having same volume. So I'll write here V only, and then remain is C2T, right? C2 as a function of T. So this is your balance. Now if you substitute your value of C1T here, C1T, and if you do your analysis by using dy by dx plus py is equals to q, right? So what you will get? You will get one equation, that is C2T. So C2T can be written as C naught divided by tau. I'm just writing directly. That is, you need to find using this. Maybe you know how to solve linear differential equation, right? Integrating factor you need to calculate. Then you need to find out y into integrating factor is equal to integration and all formula you know. Okay. So based on that formula, you will be having this equation t divided by tau. This is very long derivation. That's why I'm skipping the steps, right? So this is for C2. Similarly, if you balance over C3, you'll get one equation, that is your C3T is equals to C naught T by tau whole square into 1 by 2 factorial. Along with this, you will be having e to the power t by tau. So this is your balance over third reactor. So when you do such balance for n number of reactors, so you will get one equation. You write, don't need to remember, C and T. What is your concentration of tracer coming at the exit of your nth reactor? That is your, this will be your function of this, right? E to the power t by tau, and there will be C naught. Now remain term is some fraction, and that fraction is, you write t by tau to the power n minus 1 into 1 by n minus 1 factorial. So this is your fraction. Now if you substitute n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, so you will get value of individual. What is your concentration at the exit of every reactor or each reactor? So this is your final equation, right? Concentration at the exit of nth reactor. Are you guys clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now please tell me how I can find ET. ET curve for your first reactor, E1T. E1T is basically
C1T by area of
area under
first
that C curve.
reactor.
First, right? First reactor curve. So C1T divided by area under C curve for first reactor, right? I am writing R1. So you will be having C1T divided by integration 0 to infinite C1T dt. Okay. And when you substitute this value, you know, for first reactor you will get e to the power minus t by tau divided by tau, right? And this tau 1, tau 2 all are equal, and that is equals to your tau. Have you got this equation in previous classes? Your
Yes.
ET
Yes, sir.
curve. So if you do such things, right? Suppose if you find E2T, you will be having C2T. You know what is C2T using previous equation. Then area under C2T dt, right? So this will be your E2. So you get this kind of equation. And for n, you write for second, and I'll write for n. C2T, your E2T is t by tau square e to the power minus t by tau. This equation you'll get for E2. Now if you do such iteration for n number of reactors, you will be having En. You need to tell what is your ENT. What is that signifies you? This is your ENT. Can you please tell me what is your ENT? What do you call this? What do you call this?
So like amount of tracer at the exit of all reactors at a time t.
So exit of nth reactor, you can say. Final
Yes, sir.
reactor.
Last reactor.
Exit of nth reactor, right? And that is your E curve for whole system. Basically, it is for whole system, but you can write it that for nth reactor. By the way, this E curve is E curve is telling you exit edge distribution. So that will be always for nth reactor. That is always for nth reactor because it is exit edge distribution function. Okay. So this is your E and T. Okay. Now very important. Should I move? Please raise
Sir.
your hand. Okay. Tell. Okay. So I hope you don't have any doubt here. Now I'll move. Right. Suppose you are having single reactor, just doing comparative study. You are having general time t, right? This is your time which you are writing on x-axis, time on x-axis, right? Then second thing, what you are finding for your single CSTR, t mean, right? That is your mean residence time, MRT. Then you wrote theta. What is your theta?
T
Timing
by
T by
T
T
dot.
mean.
T by T mean, right? This is for what? Single reactor. Single reactor. Now, suppose if I am writing dimensionless time, this is your dimensionless time for single reactor. Suppose if I am writing dimensionless time for whole system, overall system. So this is your nth reactor, and here you will get exit edge distribution, E curve. Now your time is on x-axis, it will not change. Your T mean for your whole system, right? So mean residence time, you can write it as tau. So for whole system, what is that? Tau. And can I write? Can I? Mean residence time of whole system, right? Tau and here I am saying volume of all reactor is same. So your tau of all reactor is same. So how can you represent tau n in terms of tau?
N into tau.
Right? N into tau. So number of reactors or number of tanks into your single tank का tau. Right? यहाँ तक it is clear. Then we were on finding out your theta. Just like you are having total mean time, you will be having theta for total system. I am defining it as time t because time t to same hai x-axis pe, right? Divided by what? Mean residence time of whole system or single. It should be
Whole system.
whole system. So that is your tau n. What is your tau n then? T divided by n into tau. Now you can represent it in different form. So it is your T by tau is your theta, right? Theta divided by n, or you can write it as total tau. Yes, it's okay. So, okay, this is your final equation. Or you can represent it as T divided by tau n, and you can write it as any time t, right? Any time t on your x-axis divided by mean residence time, mean residence time of system. This is very important. So can you please tell which one will be greater, or what is relation between theta t and theta? Which one will be greater and which one will be lower one?
So like theta will be greater.
Theta will be greater because here I am considering whole system and here it is single reactor. That's what we want. We are comparing any system in terms of n number of tanks and we are finding out theta t for that system. Okay. Now, so for a single reactor or for single tank, you have written your ET, right? Then you convert it into E theta, right? For whole system, what will be that? Your ET will be same, right? And your E theta will convert into E theta total. Are you guys clear with this? Are you following this? Please raise your hand. Instead of theta, I have represented it theta t because I have number of tanks, right? So you will be having this equation. So instead of E theta for tank in series model, you are going to use E theta t. This is very important. Tank in series model, right? And you will find out an equation. So that equation is E n theta t is equals to n to the power n. N is basically number of tanks. N minus of 1 factorial. Then theta total to the power n minus 1. I'll share you PDF where actual derivation is given. You can refer that, okay? But here I'm just telling you physical significance and the steps. So this is your final equation. Now, whenever I'm writing ET, so what is your relation between E and T? What this ET is telling you? Your E is a function of
It's like exit is distribution function, amount of pressure exit at a time t from the nth reactor.
yeah. So your E is a function of T, right? E is your function of T. And suppose if I'm writing it is E n theta T. So your E curve at the exit of nth reactor. E curve at the exit of nth reactor, or that is a E curve for your whole system, is a function of theta T. Right? What is this telling you? En is a function of theta T, right? Theta T is here, theta T is here. This is your equation. Should I proceed?
Yes, sir.
What is your E curve at the exit of whole system? यहाँ तक हम आ गए थे. Then next step will be सिंगल रिएक्टर में क्या निकालते थे हम? सिग्मा थीटा, राइट? तो n नंबर ऑफ टैंक्स रहेंगे तो क्या निकालेंगे? We will find out sigma theta t, right? Sigma theta t. It is variance for your whole system. It is variance of single reactor. First one is, and this is variance of whole system. Just we are comparing your single reactor with your n number of tanks connected. So we are up to this. What was your formula for sigma theta? First I'll write formula for sigma t. Then we'll move to sigma theta. Sigma t is your u2 minus t mean square. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is your integration 0 to infinite. Please tell me if I'm writing some wrong set, okay? So it is your t mean square, okay, t square et dt minus t mean whole square, right? Your sigma t, that is your
So,
variance.
sir, isn't it sigma t square
Ah, yes, it is sigma
variance?
t square. Sigma t square, right? Then your sigma theta square क्या होगा? That is your integration 0 to infinite theta square e theta d theta minus theta mean whole square, and you know theta mean is 1. We proved it in previous classes. Okay. Now, based on this, suppose if I want to write sigma theta t, that is variance of whole system. So what would be that equation? Sigma theta t square, that is 0 to infinite theta t whole square e theta t, right? D theta t minus theta t mean का whole square, and you know theta t mean is also equals to 1. Any system it is 1 because you are having mean point at 1. Here it is minus values, minus infinity, here it is positive infinity. So based on this we can calculate, and I told you in previous class only that theta mean is always equals to 1 for any system. Maybe it is n number of tanks or single reactor or any. Okay, so we are up to this. So what tangent series model has proved is, if you substitute, I'll share this proof. Et here, what is your et? This is your ent, right? This en theta t, this equation I'm writing as equation 1. So if we substitute equation 1 here in equation 2, so basically it is your n, right? And if you substitute this value and if you integrate this, what you will get at the exit, that is sigma theta t square is equals to 1 by n. 1 by n. So this was by a lot of research, by a lot of steps, by a lot of assumptions. They have converted this whole system in a single parameter, that is n number of tanks. So every system has its sigma t. Are you agree with this? Any arrangement, suppose if I'm writing PFR by PFR or PFR by CSTR, any system, will that system have a particular sigma theta? Yes or no? Sigma theta for a system, for an arrangement, right? It will be. And the sigma theta has been directly compared with your number of tanks using this formula. And this is the proof of your tanking series model. Don't worry about your derivation. I'm going to tell, or I'll upload the PDF for the same. So sigma theta t square is equals to 1 by n. This is the finding of tanking series model. Very, very important. This is what. Now, what is your equation of E and theta t? Anyone? We wrote earlier. That is, I'm writing n to the power n minus 1 factorial theta t n minus 1 e power minus theta t into your n. Is it correct? Please compare. Okay. Now, you know your this En is a function of theta t. So on x-axis there will be theta t, right? Now please tell me, this is what n is number of tanks. If your tank is single, so what E curve you will get for a single CSTR or for single tank with tracer injection pulse manner?
So exponentially decreasing.
Exponentially decrease, right? And that is your E theta. This is your E theta, right? So it will start from 1,
1 by tau. So
1,
1.
right? Because it is E theta, it is not ET curve. In case of ET curve, the starting point is 1 by tau m. But in case of theta, I told you every curve will start from 1. And that was your significance, or that is the importance of your dimensionless number, right? So this is your starting point, that is 1. It will exponentially decrease. Now, suppose if your n is tending to infinite, so what you will be having? N tending to infinity, number of tanks, infinity. So that arrangement will be equal to your plug flow reactor. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So for plug flow reactor, what is your ET curve? That is a
Same as input, like instantaneous product.
instantaneous. That is your direct delta function. You just tell direct delta function. So it will be around this. This curve you will find in your octal Lorentz spin. So this is for n is equal to 1 and this is for n is equal to infinite. Now guys, in Excel, suppose if you put n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4. This is your homework. If you want to really understand what this equation is telling you, please do one activity. You substitute value of n. So you will get E of that. Suppose I'm writing En. En, so n may be 1, 2, 3, 4, any value. Theta t. Will you get equation as a function of theta t?
Yes, sir.
Right? And if you substitute value of theta t, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to infinite value, this theta t. So you will get a curve between En theta t and theta t. Curve you will get. So if you plot that curve, that will be homework. Please do this activity, right? So you will get different curves. Like suppose for n is equal to 1, I'm writing n is equal to 1 we wrote, then n is equal to infinity bhi ho gaya. Now n is equal to 2, you will get this kind of curve. N is equals to 2. Suppose if you substitute n is equal to 3, you will get E3t, E3 theta t. So that curve will be like this. This will shift to a higher value and it will shift to upward. Then n is equal to 3 हो गया. Then suppose if you substitute n is equal to 20, n is equal to 20, so you will get this curve. Green I am drawing. So as you increase n, what are you observing here from this graph? As n increases, your sigma theta t is, or your ET is getting what? Any observation here?
Tending towards direct delta function.
Anyone? Sai Kiran, Kaushik, as n
Sir, tending towards
increases.
direct delta.
So like it's approaching PFR graph.
Hello, am I audible there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible.
Okay. So now you can see as your n is increasing, what happening? What is happening here,
It's approaching PFR
right?
nature.
So your curve will get, what I'll say, variance will decrease, right? Curve will be, what can we write that word? Curve will shift upward and spreadness will decrease. Spreadness will decrease. Now, can you guys tell me why this curve will shift upward if there is decrease in spreadness? What is that one reason?
Sir, area under the curve should be 1, sir.
Right? Exactly. Your area under E curve should be 1, and that's why your curve will shift upward and it will move towards PFR. Now, suppose you have been given any arrangement of reactor arrangement. By that arrangement, you can calculate sigma theta t square. I'll tell you how can you calculate. Okay, by the way, I'll tell. Sigma theta t square कैसे निकालोगे? I have told you formula of that. Sigma theta t square is equals to your
1 divided by n.
1 divided by n. That is okay, right? For a single reactor क्या था your sigma theta t square? Sigma theta square for
Integral
pulse
theta
injection.
square d theta d theta minus theta per square.
Yes, okay. And after solving that for pulse injection, we found out one equation that was your T divided by T mean ka square in terms of that. So sigma T square divided by your T mean ka whole square, right? This equation we got for single reactor
Yes, sir.
for pulse injection. So this is for single reactor. So for a system, जिस सिस्टम को हमें एक्सप्रेस करना है फॉर दैट सिस्टम और टू दैट सिस्टम वी नीड टू एक्सप्रेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ n number of tanks, whether it is PFR, whether it is arrangement, but we are expressing it in terms of single parameter, that is number of tank. So we'll write as sigma theta t square is equals to your sigma t square divided by your t mean for whole system, right? This is for whole system, everything for whole system. So you will consider instead of t mean tau n for whole system, tau n for whole system. This is your formula. And if you calculate, if you are able to calculate this, you can calculate this n. And if you calculate n, you can have your E curve exact prediction using your Tankin series model. So based on that, you can jump to that. Or suppose if you are having E curve, you can represent that E curve in terms of, you just take your E curve and compare with this standard one. So you will get what? N. You can find n and you can tell n number of tanks, this kind of, or you can represent non-LT in number of in terms of number of tanks, right? So suppose if low n is low, then you are having CS tier kind of arrangement, and you will have if your n is high, then you will be having PFR kind arrangement. So based on which you can tell, suppose तुमने एक arrangement लिया, take this as an example, PFR, right? इसका तुमने calculate किया, you calculated sigma theta t square, and based on which you calculated n, and suppose your n is found to be 2. Is it your ideal PFR? Is it your ideal PFR if your n is lower value?
No, sir.
No. So based on this number, you can judge whether your reactor is performing as what it is designed for. So this is a single number that is telling you. Okay. So I hope यहाँ तक हम आ गए थे. Okay. So we know for n is equal to 1 and n is equal to infinity, and based on which for different n we can plot. Now this is what. And next thing is, suppose if you find out your value of n, can you guys find out what should be your actual conversion? You have one formula, x overall, that is your xan for a single reactor, or not for single reactor, for first order reaction. We have found out xn is basically 1 minus CAN divided by CA naught. Maybe you know this, right?
Yes, sir.
XAN, right? This is like 1 divided by 1 minus what is your CAN divided by CA naught for a first order reaction carried out in CSTR, that is 1 upon 1 plus K tau to the power n. Now, based on your RTD or based on your Tankin series model, you have found out your value of n. Suppose if you substitute this value here, you will get conversion, right? Are you guys able to find out this conversion? That is 1 minus K tau n divided by n. Just I change tau I as tau n divided by n to the power n. Now what we studied in your ideal CRE, that is your CRE 1, ये फॉर्मूला स्टडी किया था एक्स एन का, राइट?
Yes.
बट did you got your way, did you get the point how to calculate n in CRE 1? n कैसे find out किया था? We were not having any way to find out n. n was given, but ये n कैसे calculate किया था? How did you calculate? यहाँ से you are getting value of n using your Tankin series model TIS, right? That is the important of your CRE 2. So you are getting your number of tanks, then you substitute this and you are getting real time conversion. Hope you are getting what is physical significance of what we are studying, right? You do RTD study, you do a Tankin series model, you calculate your sigma theta, and based on that you will calculate your n, and n mil gaya to you can calculate your conversion, real life conversion, physical conversion. Are you guys following this?
Yes, sir.
Please write the steps, right? How we are finding this, right? So steps are, based on your RTD, you will get your sigma theta square for a system. Then you calculate your n from that. If you get n, then you can go and calculate your overall conversion. So this can be your final year project, right? This kind of studies you can undertake. Suppose if reaction is given and they are saying you, please find out. Suppose if there is new reaction or any reaction that has been discovered recently, and you have been given a final year project, under any guide you can choose. Your project is finding out kinetics of particular reaction. A reaction. What will you do in that case? In a reactor, suppose in a CSTR. What will you do in that project? Anyone?
So like same, we'll give tracer and find out RTD.
Yes. So this tracer experiment you are going to learn in your lab, CRE2 lab. Maybe if possible, you can physically go and visit your lab and you can find out how to do RTD, right? They are teaching you in physical how can we do RTD, right? So suppose for any reaction, if you are doing RTD, then you are finding out results. Based on this, you are predicting some things, right? Then you calculate sigma theta square. You represent it in terms of your number of tanks and all, right? So this is what finding out kinetics of reaction. And based on this, you can publish your just study. So this is an important way, or I could say it is a way you can go for research paper. Hello. So you can do this kind of study and you can publish your paper. Suppose if you are planning for higher studies, right? So there are lot many ways by which you can have your research paper, but this is one way I'm suggesting you, right? Are you getting this? Okay. Now using this and you can calculate your overall conversion and you can compare with your theoretical one. Okay. Next is we'll solve one question. Okay. What was the basic assumption of your Tankin series model? Anyone?
Volume of all reactors are same.
Right? But before that, I told you one. Okay, that was okay. Your volume of reactor is same, tau is same. Any arrangement can be represented in terms of
Single parameter.
single parameter, that is your Tankin series model.
N.
N, right? Can be represented in terms of N. This was basic assumption. Now, based on this, we'll solve one question. For a real reactor, you write, for a real reactor, variance has been found. Variance has been found 2.08 minute square. Find out equivalent number of ideal CSTR connected in series. if total space time for an arrangement or total space time is given as 7.5 minute. First, please tell me what and all values are given. What is 2.08?
Sigma t square.
Sigma T for your system, right? Any system that may
Yes.
be your single reactor or arrangement of reactor. So sigma T square is given 2.08. What is your 7.5?
Tau n.
Tau n,
Total space time.
right? So it is tau n, right? Is it correct? Tau n. Total space time of that arrangement. And total space time is your tau n. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, using this, how can you calculate or how can you make it equivalent to n number of tanks?
2.08 divided by 7.5 whole square.
Right? So what is your formula for that?
Sigma t square divided by tau n theta square.
Sigma.
Sigma t whole square divided by tau n square.
Okay, right? So what is that? Your sigma theta t square for a system, right? And that is equals to your sigma t square divided by t min whole square. And this is your t min for system. This is for system. So here it is 2.08 divided by 7.5 whole square. And this is equals to what?
1 by n, sir.
1 by n. So you can calculate n. Right? Now you know what is value of n for first order reaction. FOR, first order reaction, Ca0 is given as 10 mole per liter. K is given as 1 minute inverse. Can you guys find what is your X overall? Overall conversion. You have given a formula. This formula, right? Overall conversion. You just need to find out everything is given X naught. Am I correct? What is your answer?
Sir, n is nearly
What?
27, sir.
So
N.
your n is what?
27.
27. And is there any point?
0.043.
Right? 0.043. In exam, I'm just giving you warning, or you can say if there is 0.043, you please take that 0.043. Don't merely consider it 27 or 28. you take it as it is. You take it as it is. That you may consider as warning, because in your classes and your sessional exam, this question will definitely come to find out n. And in that case, suppose if you are taking 27.27 instead of 27.043, I lost my around 11 to 12 marks on same, because everything was dependent on that. We were around 60% of people who chose 28 instead of this, because what is n? What is n?
Number of
So will it be 27.043 or 27 or
yeah.
28? It should be 28, right? So 60% of class took 28 and we got wrong answer. So this is just for your class only, okay? For general or real life, or if you go to industry, or if you are doing any experiment in lab, or you are doing final year project, you take it 28. It's good, but for your exam, take whatever fraction you are getting. Don't merely consider it as whole number. Okay. Should I move? Suppose if you substitute your n here, can you get overall conversion?
0.998.
Okay, 0.998. Okay, that is correct. Now, we are moving to next topic, but before that, just what I told you, for final year project, you can choose any reaction and uska kinetics you can find out and you can publish your paper, right? So, usme, how can you get value of K? Do we have any method to find out K for that reaction? Had we studied previously? Find out K for reaction. Any method you know?
Sir, we can assume rate is equals to k into k power x cp power
Yeah,
y.
so there were methods, right? Integral method, differential method, then half-life method, then your fractional life method, right? These kind of methods were there. So using this, you can find out this K, then you know what is concentration and everything. So for a given reaction, for a newly discovered reaction, you guys can calculate every parameter, right? From K, from conversion, from RTD studies, from your sigma theta square and all, everything you can calculate, and you can have a beautiful research paper. So given an opportunity on final year, please choose such kind of subject for better clarity of what you are studying in chemical engineering, right? So you can have that. People generally say in BTech you don't get research paper, but you can if you want. Using this theory, using these assumptions, using your knowledge of theory, you can have your research paper at your own, or you can even try this in your third year if you want to start, right? In summer you can do such experiment in lab. That will be helpful for you if you are planning for higher studies, right? So apart from this, now we'll just start and we'll discuss some basics for axial dispersion model, right? That will be a discussion. Suppose you are having two plates. We'll start with temperature because you studied your heat transfer. These are your two plates. Suppose this temperature here is 26 degrees Celsius and in this plate your temperature is 70 degrees Celsius. Initially both temperature were same. Both the temperature were same. and suddenly you started heating this plate, and this temperature here is 70 degrees Celsius. Let's say here temperature will be 26, right? So what is happening here? There is here some medium is there in between, some fluid is there. You consider fluid is there. What is happening here? Heat transfer from what? Lower temperature to higher temperature. कैसे होगा हीट ट्रांसफर? सडनली अपन 70 डिग्री एक्सपोज कर दे उसे, तो at this you can write as y axis and this is as x axis. So with respect to y, your initially क्या था? Time t is equal to 0. This is your temperature and this is your distance. पहले क्या था? Time t is equal to 0. Both the temperature are 26. So you are having same temperature there, right? On x axis you are having temperature. Suppose some time हो गया, कुछ 10 मिनट बाद, और suppose 2 मिनट बाद, there will be transfer of heat from this plate to this plate, upper plate to lower plate. So क्या होगा? We will be having this kind of temperature profile, right? Your heat transfer will take place from upper plate to lower. So will you get this kind of profile? Opposite you will get. Or you can consider this lower one is as 70 degrees Celsius and upper is your 26. So there will be heat transfer from lower plate to higher plate, higher temperature plate. So initially क्या था? Time t is equal to 0. Both the surfaces were at temperature 26 degrees Celsius. कुछ समय बाद, after some time t, your lower temperature, this lower plate is 70 degrees Celsius. So here temperature will be high, 70 degrees Celsius. Upper क्या रहेगा? 26 पे रहेगा. This kind of profile you will get, right? टेम्परेचर ट्रांसफर होगा कि नहीं लोअर प्लेट से अपर प्लेट की तरफ. उसके बाद इफ आई इंक्रीज मोर टाइम, 4 मिनट के बाद ऐसा होगा. देन आफ्टर सम टाइम you will get this kind of profile. So what you are seeing here, your temperature is, this heat is transferring from, this is your lower plate, that is y is equal to 0 to y is equal to y. Are you guys clear with this? This is your time increasing. As time increases, your upper surface temperature will increase. धीरे धीरे there will be transfer of heat and there will be increase in temperature of layers above and above to this lower plate. Are you guys clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Right. With respect to time, there will be increase in the temperature of upper layers. This is your temperature transfer, right? And you know this transfer takes place because of two cases. One is your conduction, second is your convection. So conduction is basically at molecular level and your convection is at macroscopic, or you can say because of your velocity. If there is flow, right? So it is not at molecular level. So because of velocity there is convection, and if there is no medium or there is no velocity, there is conduction. So यहाँ पे which phenomena is working? This plate has
Convection.
thickness. This plate has some thickness. If
Both, sir, convection and convection.
right, so you will be having conduction. कहाँ पे? Plate में. In plate you will be having conduction because single medium is there, and because of fluid flowing over that plate, you will be having convection. Right? Fluid flow रहा है, it has some velocity, and because of that there is convection. So can you see here? If there is velocity, then there is convection. If there is velocity, there is convection. That means what I'm saying, if there are two mediums, then there is convection. Is it correct? And conduction occurs in single medium,
Sir,
right? Conduction occurs in single medium. Suppose you have single plate with thickness, there will be transfer of heat from this to this because of your conduction. And if fluid is flowing here, then there will be convection. And you know HADT was there. And this is equals to your conduction. K into dt by dx into your area. This kind of scene you will be having, right? So what we are comparing here, अभी मुझे बताओ, whether there will be more conduction or convection, how can you compare? Suppose if we take a ratio of these two, can we compare?
yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose if I'm saying there is X number and I'm defining it as your convection upon conduction. So you write HADT divided by your K A dt by dx. Right? Now suppose if this ratio is greater than 1 and if ratio is less than 1, what can you tell here?
Sir, if it is greater than 1, then convection dominates.
Convection dominates. Right? And if it is less than 1, then your conduction dominates. So what is this number? X?
Nusselt number.
It is your Nusselt number. Similar to this Nusselt number, you will be having some numbers in momentum transfer and in your mass transfer. Right? Similar kind of numbers will be there. So this is your Nusselt number for heat transfer. So you write Nusselt number for heat transfer. And there will be Nusselt number for mass transfer, right? कुछ number रहेगा similar. That number in mass transfer is called as Sherwood number.
Sherwood.
Right? Same. What you will compare there in Sherwood number? Convective mass transfer divided by conduction तो नहीं रहेगा वहां पे. Instead of
Diffusive
conduction,
mass
there is
transfer.
another name. Convective mass transfer divided by your diffusive mass transfer at molecular level, right? So this study we are going to do in axial dispersion model. So this was about your Sherwood number, right? I hope you are clear with this. Abhi, with respect to time, you have seen there is increase in temperature of upper plate. Suppose if I'm doing this analogy here in mass in your momentum transfer, you are having this plate, upper plate, lower plate. This lower plate is stationary, it is not moving, and there is fluid in between these two plates. Fluid is there. This is initial case at time t is equal to 0. After time t is equal to 0, suppose मैंने lower plate को move किया with force F. So what will happen? Your lower plate will move with some velocity v. That will be maximum velocity. And in this case, upper plate is stationary. पहले तो दोनों stationary थे. Now मैंने क्या किया? Lower plate को move किया with velocity v. So your fluid at this plate will try to move, right? So suppose यहाँ पे it is y, this distance, and this is your velocity. So you having zero velocity at time t is equal to 0. दोनों surface पे same था. This was your velocity profile. Then after time t क्या हुआ? Lower plate has velocity v max, right? Lower plate has velocity v max. So this kind of profile you will be having. Again, time जैसे से बढ़ते जाएगा, what you will get? You will find velocity at upper plate starts increasing. So you will get this kind of profile with respect to time. This is at t is equal to 0, t is equal to 2 minutes, t is equal to 4 minutes, t is equal to infinite. So after some time you will get a straight line like this. Is it clear? So this kind of phenomena is called as your momentum transfer. Your momentum at lower plate is transferring in upward direction. Momentum transfer, right? यहाँ पे heat transfer का direction, anyone? Heat transfer का direction from lower temperature to higher temperature, right? ऐसे जा रहा है. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Your velocity transfer from higher velocity to, am I talking? यहाँ पे समझा था your high temperature to lower temperature. If I guess if I did any mistake, please correct it. Your heat will transfer from higher temperature, which is at lower plate, to your lower temperature, that is at upper plate. Similarly, यहाँ पे velocity ज्यादा किधर है? Lower plate पे, and velocity कम किधर है? Upper plate पे. तो there will be momentum transfer from lower plate to higher plate. That is from higher velocity to lower velocity. I'll join in a minute. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you getting this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there will be transfer of molecules of A from higher concentration to lower concentration, right? So at time t is equal to 0, you will be having this profile. This is Y. This is your concentration, right? This is at time t is equal to 0. As time will increase, you will be having this kind of profile. right? यहाँ पे concentration is CA naught. Please make it correct it. Starting point will be same. This is suppose your CA naught. CA naught will be having this kind of profile. As time increases. Right? समझा सभी को?
Yes, sir.
Right? Mass transfer, momentum transfer and heat transfer. And यहाँ पे भी क्या होगा? You will be having diffusion and you will be having convective mass transfer. And in order to compare that, you will be having Sherwood number, and based on which you can have comparative study. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So was it Nusselt number when you compared convection divided by your conduction?
Yes, sir. Convection heat flux by conduction heat flux.
Right? But there is a bit change, you can say. When you learn your transfer phenomena, you will find that is Nusselt number is basically your interface flux. Interface flux divided by conductive flux. We will study this. That is interface divided by your conduction, or you can say diffusion. So here it is Nusselt number compared to you are having Sherwood number. Okay, we'll study this dimensionless number and we'll see axial dispersion model. Right there you are finding dispersion number, and based on that dispersion number you can have whether it is CSTR, whether it is PFR. You know what is dispersion? Dispersion. If I am suppose telling you, will it be maximum in CSTR or PFR? Dispersion, that is diffusion, that is axial mixing. I am writing axial dispersion. Where it will be maximum?
CSTR.
CSTR, right? So suppose if I am defining any number, I am telling as dispersion number, and that is directly proportional to your axial dispersion. Can you guys calculate whether your reactor is performing like CSTR or PFR? Based on that, you can.
Yes, sir.
Right? So in next class we are going to study that. Okay, so till that, thank you so much, and we'll see that topic.